Hello, Nigeria. Glad you kept this date with Newsline. I am Becky Madujemu, and I am brimming with excitement about some tours we will be taking tonight. It's a climbing experience like never before as we enter the nooks and crannies of a popular rock in western Nigeria. Before you catch your breath on that one, we'll fly you straight to Europe for a feel of a world-renowned festival that took place recently. Nigerians put up quite a show, and you'll be impressed to say the least. As for special people, a group celebrates academic successes in spite of a severe physical limitation. And a woman in Akwa Ibom State who stands out amongst her peers has secured a space in our package. Then it will be a wake-up call for students as we examine reasons why majority of them seem to be getting out of control. Please wait up to watch our health feature, which comes up in the final segment. We have very useful information to pass across on the chosen topic. For now, Isaac Nkuma will read the news and return the baton to me. Great to see you, Isaac.
Good to see you too, Becky, and thanks for joining us in Abuja for the news. The Nigerian Labour Congress, led by Ayuba Waba, has suspended its three-day nationwide strike embarked upon Wednesday last week. Labour correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro, who's putting together the report, says the NLC president, Ayuba Waba, announced the suspension of the strike after an emergency National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja. The Nigerian Labour Congress says the suspension was informed by the intervention of patriotic Nigerians, including the leadership of the National Assembly and the All Progressives Congress leader, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu. A lady, Khadija Ibrahim, allegedly kidnapped in Maiduguri by suspected Boko Haram members, has escaped being used for a suicide mission in Kano. Khadija Ibrahim was introduced to the Kano State Governor, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, by the State's Commissioner of Police, Abati Megeri Diko. Abdullahi Mustafa tells us more.
Narrating her ordeal, Khadija Ibrahim says she was at a bus stop in Maiduguri last Saturday, waiting for a taxi to take her to a hospital when three persons in an unmarked car stopped and picked her. The mother of three said she became unconscious immediately until the vehicle developed a mechanical fault. It was then that she discovers that her dress was not only changed but also strapped with a metallic vest. After raising alarm, one of the captors told her that she was going to perform a godly work at Kantunkwari, a famous textile market in Kano. After unbundling herself, Khadija took to her heels until she came across a good Samaritan.
So one of them was following her, tried to track her down, shouting that she should stop. If she doesn't stop, wherever she goes, they are all about, they are all over the place. But God in this mercy helped her to escape. And she ran into some of our operatives who were there, and then they took her to the police station before they brought her to the headquarters.
The insurgency is yet to be over. From what the Commissioner of Police has explained, it seems that we must be up and doing. Especially that this little girl that you saw, she left another girl inside the vehicle, unconscious, and they intended to do some operations. So the Commissioner of Police is still hunting the vehicle with other girl.
He charged residents to continue to be security conscious despite the success being achieved in the fight against terrorists by the Nigerian Armed Forces. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
In the meantime, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has enjoined Nigerians to seek God's intervention in the affairs of the nation through the power of praise. He was speaking at a musical concert tagged 365 Hours of Non-Stop Praise, organized by the Asu Villa Chapel to commemorate 1 year in office of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Records reveal that there have been 40 to 70 hours of non-stop praise to God, but none as long as 365 hours. It was a gathering of gospel artists, church choirs from all denominations, praising God for 365 hours non-stop to mark 1 year anniversary of the Buhari administration. Though it has been 1 year of a trying period for Nigeria, The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, is among many Nigerians who believe that when praises go up, God's healing and blessings flood the land. This, he affirmed, is the idea behind the initiative.
We expect that God is going to move wonderfully on our behalf. Our country is going through difficult times, but the good news is that our future is extremely bright, and that day by day is going to get better, and things are going to get better day by day, by God's grace.
The non-stop activity started at 11 o'clock in the morning of May 14 and will end by 4 o'clock in the evening of May 29, being Democracy Day.
We believe if you can praise God for a long time and particularly break the world record, God in heaven will see that and visit our nation. We can see the sincerity in our leaders, the president, the vice president, and we want the blessings of God to be upon us.
Anyone who believes in the unity of this country have no other option but to attach to the program.
For the many gospel artists and choirs here, passion in doing what they know how to do best is boosting their zeal as they testify in fervent belief that the effort will not go unrewarded. With Jamaican-born Lester Lewis, who sang Jesus is a Winner Man, doing it in style, and several others present, this divine intervention in praises hold a lot of promise to the Nigeria of our dreams.
Corruption have to go. Corruption have to go. Let your neighbor know. Corruption have to go.
In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy says it will continue to give priority attention to capacity building for effectiveness and efficiency in its bid to reposition the service to conform with best global practices in waterway security. Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ite-Ebas, stated this at the Interdenominational Church Service to commemorate the Nigerian Navy Diamond Jubilee.
The procession led by the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ibas, signaled the Interdenominational Church Service, after which he took the first reading. In his sermon, which centered on enduring commitment, Reverend Father Robert Okparaji identified patriotism, discipline, dedication, as well as loyalty as key components towards driving the Nigerian Navy to enviable heights.
And this level of patriotism is something that should step up from after our celebration of the 60th anniversary.
Established in 1956 with a personnel strength of 250, which has now grown to over 25,000 well-trained and equipped officers and men, the Chief of Naval Staff, Ibok Ite-Ebas, noted that, despite challenges facing the Navy, government effort and absolute loyalty and commitment of the Navy has been the major driver.
When provided with the needed resources, can take on any challenge that we have.
Nigerian Navy is doing well. So I can say that at 60, we have lived up to expectation.
The Nigerian Navy Diamond Jubilee Interdenominational Church Service featured a special Thanksgiving session in Abuja on Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And the primate of the Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, has challenged the church and individuals to reorientate themselves with values that will make them truly rich in morals and support the present administration. This was at the Thanksgiving service to mark the 3rd session of the 9th Synod of the Diocese of Abuja. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports on this and other church activities.
The theme of the Synod is Poverty of Riches. Taken from the book of Revelation, the primate reaffirmed the importance of the Holy Spirit, which is unification, adding that life should not be based on materialism.
Today is Trinity Sunday, where we emphasize the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Again, unity. We call upon Nigerians to de-emphasize promoting divisive tendencies. We should do everything to live with other people, respecting the dignity of other people.
And avoid struggle for mundane things, for worldliness, materialism.
At the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, Reverend Biodun Fatoyimbo charged Christians to renew their faith as exemplified by Jesus Christ.
Because God has got plans for his people. It's time now for Christians to tap into the economy of God. Christians are not supposed to look up to the government directly. We are supposed to be here to support them and then to be solutions. That's why we're called the light of the world.
At the Foundation Faith Church, Otako, Christians were admonished to work hard and keep appreciating God for a bright future.
There's something inside of you that can bring forth greatness. Do not depend solely on the story of the economy. You can create something out of the present economy.
We are all responsible to build Nigeria together.
At the First Presbyterian Church, Wuse, Pastor Toti Ono urged Nigerians to strive to serve with sincerity at all times.
Each and every one of us should set ourselves apart for him wholly.
In Abuja, Ifani Izumba, NTA News.
Still talking religion, as the countdown to this year's holy month of Ramadan intensifies, the need to educate Muslim faithful about the best ways to prepare for the fasting season was the focus of the pre-Ramadan lecture organized by the University of Lagos Muslim alumni. Awal Yusuf Jibo completes the report.
Lecturer Professor Yusuf Wahid of the University of Stellenbosch, South Africa, who spoke on the topic Muslims as ethical beings, said the core essence of Ramadan is to instill piety and moral uprightness in Muslim faithful. He enjoined the gathering to imbibe the tenets of Islam and prophetic traditions with a view to observing the month-long Ramadan fast that will be acceptable by Allah.
Muslims need to learn to internalize their faith, to learn what it means to sacrifice, to offer themselves in the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that those qualities should be used to perpetuate and advocate for human coexistence.
Other speakers at the pre-Ramadan lecture spoke on the topic, the Muslim between the ideal and the contemporary perception. Some of the Muslim faithful reacted to the pre-Ramadan lecture.
Month of Ramadan, Christian sisters to be able to renew ourselves and be able to commit ourselves to humanity.
What we should be after is we should try to exemplify Islam with our character, with our morals.
Muslims all over the world, we should live the Quran. If we live the Quran, there will be less problem in this world.
The event featured presentation of scholarships to some students as well as free medical screening exercise for participants. In Lagos, Awal Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
We now go back to our earlier report on the suspension of the strike by NLC. The Nigerian Labour Congress, led by Ayuba Waba, has suspended its 3-day nationwide strike embarked upon on Wednesday last week. Labour correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports that the NLC president, Ayuba Waba, announced the suspension of the strike after an emergency National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja. The Nigerian Labour Congress says the suspension was informed by the intervention of the patriotic Nigerians, including the leadership of the National Assembly and the All Progressives Congress leader, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
NEC, after due consultation with its constituents, resolved to suspend with immediate effect the action it commenced on Wednesday, May 18, 2016. The action is thus hereby suspended. Congress will resume negotiation with the government on twin issue of hike in the tariff and increase in pump price of products and any other issue that may arise thereof.
As Nigeria strives to green its economy, there is need to reduce environmental degradation, pollution, and take action. Minister of Environment Amina Mohammed said this while speaking to members of the Nigerian Environmental Society in Abuja. Aisha Bello Mustafa reports.
The new narrative of the Ministry of Environment is a paradigm shift towards sustainable development.
Sustainable development is about bringing these three important issues together. The social issue that we have been investing in over the years, but then we have to bring in the economy, and and we have to bring in the environment. And without the three knitted together, then we don't have sustainable development.
The ministry will reinforce the current administration's approach in the change agenda for the environment sector through the launch of a Clean and Green campaign.
That what we want to do is have two targets by 2019. One, to pick up every plastic bag and pure water and bottle off the street. We're not saying we're going to stop the use, but we are going to say that companies that produce this have an obligation beyond corporate social responsibility, and that we as a people can learn to be cleaner about it. But we have to put the alternatives there, the waste to wealth, the collection, the disposal, the recycling. That campaign needs help.
The national president, Nigerian Environmental Society, said they are impressed with President Buhari's zeal towards environmental issues, especially the cleanup of Ogoni land. They are assured of the society's support in promoting the change agenda in the environment sector. Aisha Bello Mustafa, NTA News.
And still on the environment, the second session of the United Nations Environment Assembly will take place at UNEP headquarters in Nairobi, Kenya, with the theme delivering on the environmental dimension of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The Assembly, which represents the world's highest level decision-making body on the environment, will culminate in resolutions and a global call to action to address the critical environmental challenges facing the world today. The Assembly enjoys membership of all 193 UN member states and the full involvement of major groups and stakeholders. It is a platform for leadership on global environmental policy to build a sustainable future, protect the environment, and safeguard human health. The Assembly will take place from Monday, the 23rd May to Friday, 27th May, 2016. Minister of Environment Amina Mohammed is leading Nigeria's delegation to the Assembly. Delta State Anti-Pipeline Vandalism Committee, led by the Deputy Governor Kingsley Otuaro, has intensified campaigns in riverine communities against the act, appealing to them to join hands with government for a better state and country. Eloha Agbra has the details.
If this is how Nigeria has been piloted all along, it would have been good that the Deputy Governor could come down to the community level and have interactions with people.
The voice of the natives of oil-producing communities in Delta states, putting in perspective the seeming perennial neglect of their communities. They say they are, however, willing to toe the line of peace and dialogue.
When they do up, you don't know them, you don't know where they come from. So you don't you just sleep for a house. Let's say they come spoil something for your front of your house, back of your house, and you don't know. Because at the end of the day, when government first come begin, they find those people. Before they get to know, the problem will come, they reach everyone.
The Government Advocacy Committee inspected the Otunana Makaraba delivery line destroyed by the vandals, currently under repairs.
We want to do all in our power to engage everyone critical stakeholder to ensure that we stop immediately this spate of destruction of our critical oil assets is actually very, very bad.
Elo Agbra, NTA News.
An infectious disease institute will be established in Nigeria as a multi-institutional and collaborative center of excellence. Coordinators of the proposed institute told the Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Obunaya Onu, that the institute will support and catalyze universities in West Africa to play an active role in infectious disease training and research. Science correspondent Kirian Omayo reports.
Nigeria and indeed Africa need a reference point for research and analysis of infectious diseases. Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Obunaya Onu says that well-equipped Infectious Disease Institute will provide the required infrastructure for disease detection and control. He commended the coordinators of the proposed institute and promised the support of the Ministry of Science and Technology for its realization.
So we commend you, and we are also very happy that you are working with universities because by working with universities, you'll be able to share the knowledge which you generate through those universities to our students who are the future leaders, those who are going to take over from you as co-chair in future.
Leader of the delegation, Pastor John Idoko, said the institute will provide shared resource to top West African universities as well as critical international linkages.
It will produce world-class research and educational initiatives, and of course, it will strengthen the ability of the local governments to improve health.
12 universities in Nigeria are academic alliance members of the proposed institute. In Abuja, Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
The Victim Support Fund has donated 35 million naira to Dalori IDP Camp Clinic and the 7th Division Hospital for the treatment of patients injured as a result of insurgency attacks in Borno State. Of the amount, 20 million naira went to the Dalori Camp Clinic, while the 7th Division Hospital got 15 million naira. Amina Fidi Amadu reports.
First port of call of the Victim Support Fund was the Nigeria Air Force Medical Clinic at Dalori Camp, where Vice Chairman of the fund, Tijani Tumsa, said the visit is to give sense of belonging to victims of insurgency at the hospital by offsetting medical bills of the patients.
We are already running a variety of programs. One is the Women Empowerment Program, which was started last year here in Maiduguri. That is going to be extended. There's also going to be programs to do with agriculture and programs to do with recoveries of public institutions going across the entire 6 states of the region.
Director Medical Services, now Air Vice Marshal Saleh Shinkafi, assured to use the money for the purpose intended. Similarly, Victim Support Fund, in collaboration with Gabasawa, have presented medical equipment to state primary health care for the treatment of IDPs. In Maiduguri, Amina Fidi Ahmadu, NTA News.
And internally displaced persons in Yola have expressed hope that they would soon return to their homes with the level of successes recorded by the military in the fight against Boko Haram. Some of the IDPs gave this indication when they received transistor radios donated by the Ministry of Information and Culture. Rayanu Bala reports that the IDPs were full of gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari for his support.
The distribution of transistor radios to each internally displaced person who has attained 18 years is to ensure they are reliably informed on government activities, especially efforts at fighting insurgency and the processes of their safe return home. They called on President Muhammadu Buhari to give more support to the military operations to rekindle their hope of returning home soon. The Commissioner and Minister of Information and Strategy, Adamawa State, Ahmad Sajo, said the idea is to carry the IDPs along in the scheme of government activities and for them to appreciate government concern on their plight.
We realize that the best way we can do is to empower them with information, provide them tools that will give them information so that next time they would be well informed as to what will be happening in their environment, so they can at least take measures to protect themselves.
There were goodwill messages from various stakeholders. In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
A calm has returned to Okeako Ekiti community in Ikole local government area of Ekiti State after a late-night attack by suspected herdsmen allegedly claimed 2 lives. Samuel Johnson reports that a detachment of soldiers has been stationed while residents call for a permanent solution to the crisis in the area.
The attack, said to have been carried out by suspected herdsmen on Friday night, claimed 2 lives while 4 persons sustained various degrees of injuries. Residents who said there had been face-off in recent times between farmers and cattle rearers in the community decried the action of the herdsmen who they accused of carrying out the attacks. And I have with me one of the native owners of the land.
The federal government project is being sponsored by federal government to the YCAD, the Young Farmers Association, and they destroyed the whole farm of about 40 hectares of land.
In that building, they operated there, and when they left the place, they passed through this lane.
We are appealing to the government to establish a security post around here that will comprise the military and police.
Ekiti State Deputy Governor Dr. Kolapo Olushola, who led a team of government officials to the town, also urged the community leaders to assist security agents in restoring peace and checking the activities of criminal elements in the area.
In this state, by the grace of God, very soon it becomes a criminal offense for you to be grazing in the night.
With the reinforcement of security apparatus in the community, which borders Kogi and Kwara states, calm has returned, while some residents took time to attend church services. From Okeako, Ekiti, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
And still on security matters, 2 Reverend sisters reportedly kidnapped along Ore-Shagamu Expressway have been released. The Ondo State Commissioner of Police, Hilda Ibiforo Harrison, made this known in Akure. Dapo Daramola reports.
Confirming this to newsmen in her office in Akure, the Ondo State capital this Sunday, the Ondo State Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Hilda Ibiforo Harrison, said that the 2 victims were released alongside their driver, but she did not give details.
By the grace of God, they have been rescued. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all well-meaning Nigerians, people of Ondo State, the clergy, all who prayed for them and prayed with us and contributed information that has helped the police in its job.
The 3 victims spent 11 days in captivity before they were released. In Akure, Dapo Daramola, NTA News.
Let's do sports now. National men's cricket team begin 2016 World League Division 4 qualifiers on good start as hostilities begin in the 2016 French Open. Ayodeji Makinde brings us more on our sports update.
The national men's cricket team, otherwise known as the Yellow Greens, began their campaign in the 2016 International Cricket Council World League Division 4 qualifier on a winning note in Jersey Island, United Kingdom on Saturday. The Yellow Greens beat fellow Africans, Tanzania, by 4 wickets with 4 overs to spare. Salihu Atawodi beat a field of over 150 golfers with a total gross of 86 and 69 nets to emerge overall winner of the 9th Joe Kiari-Gadzama Annual Golf Tournament 2016 at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja, Saturday. Captain of the club, Okei Igwe, played 78 gross and 73 nets to win the best gross. Other winners also emerged in various categories, including auxiliary prizes, ladies, veterans, as well as men's divisions 3, 2, and 1.
We hope to transform and metamorphose into a charity golf tournament so that we raise money for charity, then we also donate for charity.
Dataku Polo Club has won the 2016 Kefi International Polo Tournament after defeating Kefi Ponies 9 goals to 6 in the final at the Kefi Polo Ranch in Nasarawa State. Some of the dignitaries who graced the grand finale urged Nigerians to sustain sporting activities as a major unifying factor in the nation.
Professionalism in display at this very field. You could see that a lot of efforts have gone in for us to be having what we're having this evening.
The awareness of the game as far as natives are concerned is much higher than what we had at the first tournament.
The 115th edition of the second tennis Grand Slam of the year, the French Open, served off Sunday in Paris with Australia's Nick Kyrgios defeating Marco Cecchinato 7-6, 7-6, 6-4 to qualify into the second round. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has condoled the senator representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District, Senator Shehu Sani, over the death of his mother, Fatima Abubakar Sani, who died after a brief illness. A statement from the office of the Senate President expressed sadness over the death and prayed the Almighty to grant the 75-year-old deceased eternal rest. The Senate President says the deceased lived an exemplary life of service to her community and also prayed God to give the family, government, and people of Kaduna State the fortitude to bear the loss. And for the latest weather, here's the update.
Welcome to the weather forecast. I'm sure that the evening rains
over Abuja and the southern part of the country has made the day a bit cooler. And so with that, let's see what the Monday weather would look like. Morning thunderstorms are expected to affect the eastern flank of the central state, such as the Mambila Plateau, Makurdi, Jos, Kaduna, moving westward to affect parts of Abuja. And of course, Kano, Katsina axis are also not exempted from the morning thunderstorms. Moving down south, we expect the inland cities of the southwest and its coast have prospects of localized thunderstorms. Later on in the afternoon, weather systems are expected to give rise to localized thunderstorms to the extreme northeast and the western half of the central states, including the southeast region. Lagos and its environs might also experience localized rains here and there. And for temperatures for the day, please stay tuned. I'm Joyce Ogunleye from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. Join us for more updates.
Well, now take a break. Newsline returns with Becky in Lagos shortly. Stay with us.
Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Mommy, don't worry, I'll sort this thing out. They don't call me basket man for nothing. Sister.
Hello, brother.
Papa is marrying another wife, oh.
I will come home and scatter that place.
Hello. Daddy is marrying another wife this weekend.
He came to the house, Mama. Tell him I'm coming.
I'm coming.
Lies! I'm coming.
Driver, airport. Did I tell you people? They are all coming.
You see, Mom, Dad, I told you everything will be fine.
Get more for free on every 100 Naira recharge. Enjoy 400 Naira talk time to call all networks, plus 75 megabytes of ultra high-speed data worth 300 Naira, which includes 25 megabytes data free to give someone. Dial *303# to subscribe to Glow Talk Special. The largest data network, Glow Unlimited.
As the sun rises over the hills of Abuja, so too dawns a new way of life and exquisite standard of living. Enjoy your own originally designed and quality-built home in the serene and secure environment of Sunrise Hills. Experience this uplifting lifestyle with breathtaking views of the city. Rise above. Sunrise Hills is unlike anything you've ever seen before. A new way of life is dawning in the heart of Nigeria.
This is Miss Harrison. She's a Colgate expert.
What's wrong? Sam has a toothache.
It's because he has a hole in his tooth. I brush twice a day with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection. Imagine this is your tooth, and these are the food acids that cause holes. Colgate with calcium and fluoride prevents holes.
So how can we help Sam?
For maximum cavity protection, recommended selling price 200 Naira. Colgate, world's #1 selling toothpaste.
Funny question.
Who do you think drinks Horlicks?
25.50.
Who do you think drinks Horlicks?
Horlicks is scientifically formulated with 23 nutrients to help kids grow tall, strong, and sharp. Horlicks, power-packed with nutrients for growth.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop! Stop!
There you go.
Yay, Indomie!
Here's to all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, happy Children's Day from Indomie. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Thanks for staying on the line. It is disheartening to know that Nigeria has so many natural and man-made landmarks that are destinations for tourists, but many Nigerians still prefer to spend hard cash to go visit tourist sites abroad. We beat our chests tonight as we present to you a must-visit tourist destination located in the capital of the Gateway State, Abeokuta. This natural monument is breathtaking. Tekla Wilkie is who Newsline sent to go explore. Let's see what she brought back.
The fact that Nigeria is blessed with a rich cultural heritage cannot be overemphasized. Every state holds a unique gift of nature that resonates history, culture, and pride.
We have the famous Olumo Rock. We have the Gurara Waterfall. We have the Baro Empire Hill. We have the Amegamesen Center in Zungeru. And we have the Bida Brass. We have so many things that could generate revenue internally.
Look at Calabar Carnival. I am sure that what happens there every year, gradually people will stop, reduce, will stop going to Brazil, where they have it, since they can have it in Nigeria.
Zooming our lens into Ogun State reveals a rich tourist paradise that will leave any tourist with brow-raising impressions. Do you know that some Nigerian icons like the great Herbert Ogunde, legendary Afrobeat musician Fela Anikulapo Kuti, and Nobel laureate winner Wole Soyinka are from Ogun State?
Look at what Baba Ulawo did of blessed memory. You go to his place now, you see his works. In fact, I don't know of any politician that is as reported as Baba Ulawo.
Abeokuta is famous for tie and dye, popularly known as Adire.
And they love it. And so it's a plus for us. It also opens Ogun State up, for visitors.
Now let's move on to something sumptuous. The Ofada rice that has now become a Nigerian delicacy is also a product of Ogun State, cultivated in a town known as Ofada. Ogun State also hosts the second-story building in Nigeria, the first being in Badagry, Lagos State. The first and oldest Bible ever in Nigeria is currently sitting at a gallery in Ake Palace in Abeokuta. That's not all. Ogun State hosts different tourist attractions and monuments that date back to the Stone Age, among which is Olumo Rock. The name of the state capital, Abeokuta, was also derived from this historic monument.
Then we are bearing Egbas, but now when they said, you people, where you hid, we hid ourselves under the rock. They bring the name, they are now approximately to Abeokuta, we are under the rock.
Olumo Rock, which sits in the heart of the state capital, with a height of 137 meters above sea level, provides the perfect view of the city with surrounding trees that date as far back as 200 years.
As you can see, the rock is of igneous type, igneous rock, very hard rock. And it's unlike sedimentary rock that is recently created. This rock would have existed from the Precambrian era, even before any human being was found to exist on Earth.
This monument, which served as shelter and fortress for the Egba people in the 1830s during the intertribal wars that ravaged the city, became a symbol of faith, strength, and unity.
The water, that is where they bring our name out, said Ogun State. So this is Ogun River. It linked to 3 states and 1 country. From here to Lagos, from Lagos to Benin, Shaki, which is Sokere, and bus to Atlantic Ocean. So if you want to travel out to any part of the country, you don't need to go and take any visa again. Just come with your local canoe, straight.
Today, indigenes and non-indigenes of the state still regard the Olumo Rock as a spiritual fortress and a mental rejuvenation paradise.
Many things must have happened for Olumo Rock to be revered. Till tomorrow, some part of the rock is still being worshipped.
You look at things like this, you will be induced, some people from primordial times will be induced to worship it because it is unusual.
Even with the provision of modern technology by the state government to aid tourists up the rock, visitors, including myself, prefer to take those steps through the length and breadth of the rock.
It's over 30 years I've been here, but coming here today, I'm very, very thrilled. In fact, I'm excited. I really didn't know that a lot of development has gone on here. I've been hearing about it, but I've not witnessed it. And now that I've witnessed it, I wish to come back again and again and again.
It is one of the heritage sites that is recognized by UNESCO.
Though imposing in size, the Olumo Rock gives a calming posture to the bustling city of Abeokuta.
Trees growing on a rock, houses, cave, and the rock is as cool as anything. As hot as Abeokuta is, you get here, you didn't feel any heat. The air is so fresh, under the mountain is cold, everywhere is cold, so you can't just ferment it there. That's the work of nature.
Olumo Rock indeed offers every visitor the unique gift of nature that is unquantified, priceless, and absolute.
It's been fun, it's been therapeutic, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. One thing is for sure, nature gives you what you get, and nature can't be questioned.
And to think that all Tekla's calories stayed intact after that tedious tour. Aside that, Olumo Rock is a sure place to visit. Put it on your to-do list. Our next report is on the celebration of cultures in a colorful street parade in faraway Germany. Our correspondent there, Theresa Walbaba, tells us that Berlin, which is the capital of Germany, was agog with celebration when cultural groups from around the world converged to showcase their heritage. The Nigerian community in Germany seized the opportunity to exhibit Nigeria's music industry in the Carnival of Cultures.
Costumes, dances, music, and traditional rituals of some cultures characterize the Berlin Carnival of Cultures, pronounced Carnival der Kulturen in German. It is a yearly street celebration, usually on Pentecost Sunday. Pentecost Sunday is the Sunday 50 days after Easter, when Christians receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. The carnival, however, gives the various ethnic groups resident in Berlin the opportunity to showcase their cultures to about 1 million people from all over the world. The Nigerian community in Germany was not left out of the celebration. It proudly showcased the country's music industry with one of Nigeria's finest artists, Orisha Femi, dazzling the crowd with some of his tracks.
I'm so happy that this is another great opportunity for we to project our culture all over the world. One of our motives of forming Nigerian community in Germany is to expose our Nigerian culture. Most countries in the world live from tourism, and Nigeria will have a very rich culture that will make tourist attraction, that will make people to come to Nigeria, and we can also live from it.
The Nigerian contemporary music, which now plays in most clubs across Europe, pulled a large crowd from different nationalities as the Nigerian motorcade passed by.
I like Nigerian music! Nigerians must be a very happy people. They just, it's so natural to move around and be happy and smile and dance together.
matter where we are, we always identify with our roots. Thumbs up to Nigerians in Germany. Moving on, Nigerian women are breaking all frontiers to be the best they possibly can, even in male-dominated spheres. What a man can do, a woman, they also say, can do better. How else can you explain what the woman in our next report is doing for a living? This is in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, where Clement Barikui reports.
Growing up as a little child, Imam Vincent Mendy, an indigene of Ikorak-Manika community, like every other child, had a dream to become a lawyer. Unfortunately, that was not to be due to lack of the needed resources to pursue her dream. Having lost her father at a tender age, Imam could not complete her secondary education as the mother was not able to register her for the senior school certificate examination. Challenged by the economic situation she found herself, Imam in 2014 decided to do what most women will dread to attempt. This 24-year-old maneuvers the wheels of heavy-duty equipment with so much ease.
When they were walking on our side, so I like moving and check what they were doing. So I like the way they walk. So that is why I just went to one of my people then I asked him how far about this machine, and he told me everything. I said, okay, I would like to learn how to drive it. And he put me through.
Her colleagues cannot help but continue to admire her doggedness and commitment.
I feel happy because this is the first time I see a woman to operate this compactor machine. She no get time for while at all. She did very okay.
For these engineers, working in a male-dominated field is never a threat. Her employers say the passion exhibited by MM in doing what other girls may not be able to attempt endeared her to the organization.
When we saw her and her own ability at understanding what she was doing, we thought it would be a great motivation to our female children.
I thought also it would be a big message. Don't just think about what everybody knows. Women do this and women do that. Venture out.
This multi-talented young Nigerian is also a footballer with special dribbling skills.
I'm still playing football. When I get to the house, I go for training.
She has this advice for her peers.
So it's not that to sit in the house looking for a boyfriend or girlfriend to come and dash you money. So what you can do is to move forward and do something so that you can achieve something in future.
For Ememende, with courage, one can effectively carry out any task. And of course, what a man can do, a woman can do, and as they say, even better.
Very impressive. Meanwhile, we must not fail to appreciate her family for letting her follow a passion. Chapter 1 of Newsline ends here. The next chapter contains corporate and social events. You will know who the players are if you stay on the line while we take a commercial break and be right back.
Bringo! Bringo! Dog, I go chop you. Bringo!
Yeah, okay. Ibu, if you like, try till now to thank Kingdom come. You go ever fit sing or dance like us. Or shall you fit hammer just like us. Or you carry your phone, text Glow to 555. Answer the shaking football question. What then go send and you fit hammer 5 million naira just like that.
Yes, so 125 million naira they grant bin for the Glow Hammer Millions promo. And you say fit be one of the winners, so just text Glow to 555. And you fit be one of the 5 winners to hammer 5 million naira each every 20 days. Hey, or one of the 10 people to win 100,000 naira each every day. Hey, SMS now 100 naira only. This Hammer Millions promo they sweet my belly. The more you they play, the more your chance they increase to hammer.
The largest data network, Glow Unlimited.
For 18 years, the Milo Basketball Championship has been building champs in life. And now, when you buy 2 packs of Milo 500 grams in participating outlets, you'll get a scratch card to win sports prizes instantly.
Milo! Nestle. Good food, good life.
Together, MTN and you, we created smiles. Together, we empowered many. Together, we saved lives. Together, we inspired dreams. And together, we could do even more with the MTN Foundation What Can We Do Together project, Phase 2. SMS MTN Foundation to 321 to nominate a community. Join in. Let's do more.
MTN, everywhere you go.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop! Stop!
There you go.
Yay, Indomie!
Stop shouting your way.
It's me, like no other.
Nobody's can do like you.
It's me, like no other.
Remember this every day.
It's me, like no other.
Everybody Indomie.
Indomie, like no other. It's me, like no other.
Here's to all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, happy Children's Day from Indomie. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Welcome back. In their numbers, they came bishops, archbishops, other members of the clergy, traditional rulers, past and serving government officials, amongst others, to celebrate a man they say has impacted positively on the larger society. It was a birthday celebration of the Bishop at Diocese of Amici, Anglican Communion, the Right Reverend Ephraim Ikaku, as he attains the golden age of 50. Franklin Oyekachi reports.
The ceremony commenced with a church service presided over by Bishop of Obaro Diocese, the Right Reverend Samuel Ezofo, at the Cathedral Church of St. Andrew, Amici. In a sermon, the Archbishop of Lokoja Diocese, the Most Reverend Emmanuel Ebunu, admonished Christians to endeavor to discover the purpose for which they were created and remain committed to actualizing it.
Exaltation is God leading us higher. If you raise yourself higher, you'll be lonely there. If He takes you higher, He will reveal Himself to you.
Bishop Ikako, in the company of family members and friends, danced to the altar in appreciation to God for His numerous blessings upon his life, family, and ministry. After the service, the event shifted to the venue of the reception, where guests were treated to good refreshment. The governor of Anambra State, Chief Willie Obiano, and other guests at the occasion, said Bishop Ikako is a gift of God to mankind and prayed God to bless him more.
I pray to God to grant him long life and prosperity, and also give him strength to walk in the vineyard of the Lord. I wish him the glory of God every day of his life, and I wish him a very fruitful and focused ministry to the glory of God.
His mission is a lot of God's grace and God's presence, and he impacted a lot of people. At 50, he's now a complete man.
Bishop Ikako said he was overwhelmed by the presence of his colleagues and well-wishers who came from all parts of the country to rejoice with him.
I have no alternative than to plunge myself deeper and more sacrificially in serving him and humanity to the best of my ability and capability.
The event featured launching of the book written by Bishop Ikako titled The Careless Children of a Careful God, unveiling of his foundation named Amazing Great Mercy Foundation, the gift of a brand new car to the bishop from the diocese, and cutting of the birthday cake.
Congratulations to the celebrant. To wish him many more years. The President and Chief Executive Officer of Erisco Foods Limited, Chief Eric Umuofia, has refuted the allegation that indigenous tomato paste manufacturers are responsible for the scarcity of fresh tomato in Nigeria currently. This was when he briefed the press in Lagos during the week. Rotimi Oluwagbemi will tell us about it.
According to the Chief Executive Officer of Erisco Foods Limited, the shortfall in the volume of fresh tomatoes in the market is caused by natural forces which play out at this period of the year.
Last year, there was a loss of 75% over in tomato, fresh tomato of this country. So most farmers ran away, no support. Now the implication is that this year, most of them didn't farm tomato. How can there be sufficiency? How can there be sufficiency for tomato to move on? Once we have an available land that we are not using, the land that God gave us that 2 times in a year, we can harvest and we can plant and harvest tomatoes.
Chief Eric Umuofia appealed to the federal government to place an immediate ban on importation of fake and substandard tomato paste as well as other food items.
Nigeria spends over $1 billion every year to import tomato paste that we can do better in this country. It's painful. My heart is bleeding.
The Erisco Chief Executive also reiterated the company's readiness to support the change mantra of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The Chief Executive Officer enjoined Nigerians to imbibe the habit of patronizing made-in-Nigeria products in order to revamp the country's economy.
When you buy your own product, you buy made in Nigeria, Nigeria economy will be good for you and me. And if you continue to insist on foreign items without asking where is the Nigerian version, go for Nigerian version because our soil is still better, no more chemical, whereas our food here is more nutritious.
Erisco Foods Limited is a member of Erisco Bumpet Group. The company is a leader in the manufacturing of locally sourced tomato paste in Nigeria and a crusader of made-in-Nigeria goods.
We can't say it enough. Patronize made-in-Nigeria products. Do not compromise your safety. Next up, the bank that keeps its word has fulfilled its promise to give away duplexes, cash and kind, to as many of its customers who emerge winners in the bank's Save for Shelter promo. The promo has ended with the last batch of winners smiling home with their prizes. Annie Daniels reports that among the prizes presented was a star prize of a 4-bedroom duplex in Lagos.
The promo, which commenced in September 2015, Fidelity Bank management says, is to inculcate the culture of saving in Nigerians and make life comfortable for its customers. The promo offered 3 duplexes, 35 million naira cash and rent support in varying amounts as star and consolation prizes.
The housing gaps in Nigeria need to be filled up, need to be taken care of. That's why we took the initiative to do something more productive and constructive, which is to give people houses. And we'll continue to do that.
At the 6th and final draw of the promo, more prizes were presented to winners.
I win 2 million. Fidelity Bank is best bank for my own side as the best bank because I really appreciate what they've done for me.
This money is with me. My business will flourish. This is real. It's not 419. It's not fraud.
And the final star prize of a breathtaking 4-bedroom duplex was won by Clara Ego Ibedu, and equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, was presented to her. The winner, Clara Ibedu, could not hide her joy.
Definitely to change my status, because it's not easy to own a house in Lagos and in such a beautiful estate. I will say a very big thank you to Fidelity Bank, because I didn't actually believe that it was real. The day I was called to talk about this, to tell me that I won a house, I thought it was a scam.
Fidelity Bank management says the bank is dedicated to making life meaningful for everybody.
The house was bought for over 30 million and we used an additional about 15 to renovate and bring it up to standard. As you can see, the house was finished by us, and to make sure that it's up to the standard of what Fidelity will give out.
Officials of the Nigerian Lottery Commission were on ground to monitor the presentation.
And we have ensured that the prize has been given. We have seen it. The winner of that is an enlightened consumer already.
Moving on, in furtherance of its determination to consolidate on the peace, support and unity experienced across the country, the National Union of Road Transport Workers has flagged off a nationwide tour. The exercise, which began from Yola, the Adamawa state capital, witnessed the commissioning of the renovated state secretariat and lock-up shops by the national president, Alhaji Najim Usman Yassin. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
Arrival at Yola Airport, President of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Alhaji Najim Usman Yassin, and his entourage were received by members of the union in the state led by its chairman, Alhaji Bello Adamu. The delegation met with the Adamawa State Governor, Alhaji Muhammad Jibrila Bindo, at the airport on his way out of Yola. Thereafter, the delegation visited Lamido Adamawa, Dr. Muhammad Barkindo Aliu Mustafa at his palace, and from there headed for the union's secretariat built by the late president, Alhaji Gidado Hamman, who hailed from Adamawa State. The secretariat was renovated and named after the late Gidado Hamman by the State Council. 7 lock-up shops and a driving school built by the State Council were all commissioned by Alhaji Najim Usman Yassin.
Shopping center and driving school was commissioned by me, Alhaji Dr. Najim Usman Yassin, Maka Mongusau, President of the National Union of Road Transport Workers.
The national officers used the opportunity to attend the State Council meeting, where they gave some advice on the way forward. Chairman of Adamawa State Council of the Union, Alhaji Bello Adamu, thanked the president and his team for the visit, promising their unalloyed support to the national leadership. In solidarity with the late president, the union members attended the wedding party of the son of the late president, Shehu Gidado Hamman, who married Sakina Ahmad Tijani Bello. The national delegation later visited both the families of the late president and his mother, where prayers were offered for the deceased.
Mr. President, na farko ka goda Allah, ka goda mutanen Najeriya, musulmi da Kirista. Mawaƙi na Union na gari, don Usman makaman gusau.
Next, we focus on children. While we celebrate a group of special children, we highlight the antisocial behavior of another group. Stay on the line.
You hear a bomb explosion or gunshots of an active shooter. That might be a terror attack. At such times, always remember 3 action words: run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Here comes the sun, la 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 la, bright sunny day, la 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 la.
The taste and aroma of Top Tea can leave you feeling good and ready to go. Top Tea also comes in ginger, lemon and lime, and pure black tea. Each pure black tea pack now comes with 2 free tea bags. Take a sip and feel the sunshine in every cup.
Top Tea, big bags of flavor.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Always, we have lived together as brothers and sisters since long time in Muriva, without no mind that we have spoken different languages and celebration our cultural and diversity. No bombing, no cultism, no kidnapping. Nowadays, our children are trampoline to cultists. Today, we are suspicion one another. All this notorious behavior have scattered all over Nigeria. When are you going to change? More. When are you going to stop? Terrorism are unwanted visitors. Kidnapping are criminal. Cultism are barbaric. Do not destroy this country, oh. Our country, Nigeria, are blessed, oh. Are you see what I'm saying? Support Nigerian police force in their civil war against terror, kidnapping and cultism. Report any bad move around you. See and does not talk, I kill old age. And to hear and does not behavior, I kill small pikin. All of us have the duty of building Nigeria free of crime. That are our dream.
This message is from the Nigeria Police Force.
We are here to serve, and indeed, Nigerians will get the service they have longed for and which they rightly deserve.
The leader today that we have in Nigeria is one the world has been waiting for. Nigeria is seen in a new and a different, very positive light.
With what President Muhammadu Buhari is doing, our economy will be strong and resilient to withstand the shocks.
He wants the best for this nation. We want the best for this nation. Our aspirations should be to put this country first, and together we shall make progress.
If we don't believe in our own country, nobody will believe in our own country. So we must make sure that we continue with the trajectory. We don't want to make a mistake of the past.
This president has a singular opportunity to make that difference because the whole country is behind him.
And by the grace of Almighty God and the sheer will and determination of the Nigerian people, we will come out stronger and more united than ever.
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people's camps. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
To have you back. When Bethesda Home for the Blind celebrated 11 years of its success story, we're there to rejoice with them. The home takes care of people with the physical challenge of blindness, making it possible for them to attain their full potential in life. Some of the students go down the academic lane to become graduates in their chosen fields, while some others learn vocational skills. When the home marked 11 years of doing right by these special children, Musa Toliat went there to bring back this report.
The popular maxim that there is ability in disability aptly describes the talent show organized by Bethesda Home for the Blind in Lagos. The students displayed rare talents in various forms of choreography after the school band dazzled the gathering with special renditions.
don't change my name to body. I don't buy more to body. I say my market no go sell body.
Then, they made bold statements with outstanding indigenous cultural dance performances. High point of the event was the announcement that one of the blind students of the school emerged the overall best in the recently concluded Joint Admission and Matriculation Board examination.
As God will have it this year, like I told you, aspiring to become a lawyer and also the president of this great federation, I had the highest in JAMB.
The need to support the blind students to acquire tertiary education was therefore emphasized.
Last year, 21 of them were able to pass their JAMB and secure admission. This year again, 23 of them already passed their JAMB, even score highest mark.
We need to empower them so that it takes away the pressure of not having sight.
When they graduate, we believe that they should be given some kind of employment, those that are going to university, and those that actually acquire some kind of skills.
There were goodwill messages from the Methodist Church Nigeria and good-spirited individuals.
This is a good vision of putting hope in the life of people that we may call hopeless.
Which will assist the Lagos State government in giving very deserving support to men and women with challenges like this.
Bethesda Home for the Blind presently has 31 students in tertiary institutions across the country.
I don't change my name to body. I don't buy more to body. I say my market no go sell body.
That was brilliant. All the best to the blind students of Bethesda and congrats to the graduates. It is Musa Toliad again who has the next report. It is about indiscipline and general antisocial behavior exhibited by many students in secondary schools in this country. Why and what's the way out?
The joy of most parents is to enroll their children in school at the right age and watch them grow on the path of uprightness and discipline. Teachers also play a vital role in ensuring that students imbibe the culture of tolerance and hard work. Society looks out for such individuals to impact positively in the community and also serve as role models to others. However, the rate at which discipline is fast declining, especially in public secondary schools, calls for concern. Some students display truancy even within the school premises. Some others become gangsters and terrorize their counterparts in other schools. While on a totally different assignment, Newsline's camera lens caught this unwholesome scene where some students engaged in a free-for-all fight in full public glare. What could trigger this?
They discuss love and whatever. And when they see you entangled with one girlfriend, then another boyfriend of that guy, we try to intimidate you outside.
And after closing, you see the student, the way they behave, you wonder, is this school or what?
Some are quick to put the blame on the parents.
There are some parents that follow their words to school to go and warn the teacher not to ever touch our children.
Those of us that have been employed to look after them are de facto parents. We are not doing what we are supposed to do. If we do it, many of them will come out to work.
The school administration said, don't flog them, don't beat them, don't correct them, all these don'ts are actually responsible for part of the problems we are going through.
Actions like these are usually frowned at by the public, although people appear helpless to stop the act.
Most of these things, charity, they say, begins from home. So where they are not cultured from home, then there's almost nothing, little or nothing you can do.
If we say we should use hard measures, it may have negative effect.
For this education stakeholder, the quest to create a better society devoid of miscreants requires all hands to be on deck.
Everybody passing can grab you. Everybody is a people's policeman, as it were. That helped, which was what I used during my time.
Appealing to the conscience of children and making their school environment attractive could keep them busy and out of trouble.
Many of these children, they turn out to be what they are because people are not there for them.
Some, however, say that to put a full stop to gangsterism in schools, those found culpable should be made to face the full wrath of the law.
Even if there are many, one or two of them is enough. Just they will mention the others. And of course, the principals and the teachers who knew they were in trouble. Not only will I bring them in, you, the principal, you need a lot of miracle prayer warriors to keep your job. You understand? We should go back to that level of discipline.
Research has shown that children who take delight in going to school early turn out well in the society, while the ones who roam the streets during school hours turn out to be the gangsters. With this growing unacceptable trend, many say that governments at the federal and state levels should increase their efforts in the areas of monitoring and patrol of schools to nip such antisocial behavior in the bud.
Like you heard, parents and teachers need to do more in molding the next generation of future leaders. Now, if the last report reeks of bad upbringing, what that means is that the home front is not doing well. What has happened to family values in Nigeria? Is the collapse of family values one that can be remedied? Tekla Wilkie reports.
Fathers from the beginning of time were the head of the family and primarily the breadwinners, while mothers were traditionally homekeepers and caregivers in the home. That divine arrangement is now once upon a time.
We grew up having at least one of the parents at home when the children arrive. These days, the children will get to the house and there is nobody at home. So they get educated by the telly, what they see on television. And you know that what is there on the television now, a lot of it is counterproductive.
In Nigeria today, family values, some people would say, have totally collapsed due to a number of reasons.
The world is developing, yes, but I won't put the blame on the doorstep of civilization. I would say that the values and families
are eroding because certain people are not doing their responsibilities. Parents particularly, they don't pay attention to the little things in the lives of the children.
The school fees are very high. The resources are low. A lot of parents are doubling.
The arrow appears to point directly at mothers and their role in grooming the children.
The truth of the matter is that they spend more time with the nannies. Mommy's at work. Mommy comes back, mommy's tired. So you find out that if your nanny doesn't have that God-led spirit, your children are bound to pick up some other bad values from them.
In this country today, the pressure of meeting the financial and social needs of the family, many believe, has no doubt contributed to the breakdown of family values. While some argue that a wife and mother needs to be self-sufficient and actualize her potential as an individual, there are those who argue that the woman's place is in the home.
Well, I want her to stop working and spend more time with us.
And just cut back on their hours and spend more time with us.
How many women are willing to give up their dream for their family? How many women are willing to step down so that the family can thrive?
The circumstance where men are ready to gird their loins, right, and take full responsibility for catering for the family, then probably you can reach such a compromise and the woman says, okay, while the children are in this formative years, so to say 0 to 7 or 0 to 6, okay, I'll stay back at home and then try and make sure that there's proper and a thorough homeschooling for the children.
Another group, however, says the problem will be solved if the woman knows how to balance the pressure and responsibility of bringing up children while working full-time or part-time to make ends meet. However, a vital contributing factor to the breakdown of family values is the lack of these values in the parents themselves. As it is, one cannot give what one does not have.
Some people have children, they really don't have plan for these children. They basically feel other people have wife or husband and children, they want to have the same.
The general consensus amongst the respondents is that though the need to provide daily bread for the family may take both parents out of home and away from the children for long periods of time, the vacuum can be filled if the rest of the time is spent qualitatively impacting positive values to their children.
All I can say is, parents, live up to your responsibilities, as that will go a long way to stabilize the society. Now to something more alarming. Can you imagine that in some communities in the city of Lagos, some people live and do business right under high-tension conductors? What are the implications of that? But if you doubt what I'm saying, take a look at this piece by Jennifer Igwe.
under imposing electrical installations capable of havoc greater than their massive sizes. These installations are overhead power lines used in electrical transmission and distribution over long distances.
At the fair, one day I don't see the way they don't cut for selling. I see the way that light be on that day.
Development process, explosion in population and poverty, among others, have made many to turn a blind eye on dangers of embracing deadly facilities that certainly show no mercy when the chips are down and their electrical spheres are encroached upon.
If that wire snaps, it could kill from a distance. It's not just that you touch it or something, because let's look at 330, for instance, or 132 kV. You know, it could kill from 10 meters away or something. It can hold you there until the person dries up.
It's raining and I am really scared standing by this high tension cable. But there are people around here who live, work, sell on a daily basis and carry on rather oblivious of the high tension cable or its negative consequence. Now, even the signpost by the National Electric Power Company that says danger is nothing to them. Something important to these class of Nigerians, however, is served daily in this area: hot meal. The cook and chef is Titi. Her petty food business is a means of livelihood that sustains her family. As the saying goes, no free food in Freetown. Living and running a business under dangerous electrical installation also attracts a fee. Titi, whose food joint, for instance, is in Okota, pays 1,000 naira monthly to a landlord who resides safely far away from the danger spot where she runs her mama put. One can't help but ask why relevant authorities allowed this over the years.
We tend to take a lot of things for granted in this country because it has not happened now.
The situation in many neighborhoods across Nigeria right now is indeed dicey. This is because on one hand is the short and long-term implication of living under high-tension installations, and on the other is the risk of becoming homeless.
Are they oblivious of the dangers, or they just don't care? High-tension conducts are instant killers. Beware. We have a breaking news now. Reports just reaching us as following the announcement by the Ayuba-led Nigeria Labour Congress that a strike has been called off. The federal government views this as a welcome development and wishes to assure them that they will also be welcomed back to the negotiation table anytime they are ready. It's a contagious disease that spreads fast, especially amongst children. It's all about measles when Newsline returns from this break.
Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
What?
What are you doing?
Stop! Stop!
There you go.
Yay, Indomie!
all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
To all the unique children of the world, happy Children's Day from Indomie. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Thanks for staying on the line. Now to health. Our focus is on a highly contagious disease that affects children, especially with high morbidity and mortality rate, measles. How much do parents in Nigeria know about this disease and how to prevent their children from catching it? What are the implications of measles? Jane Ojukwu provides answers to these questions.
Medical experts say when a child suddenly comes down with fever, runny nose, cough, inflamed eyes and sore throat, there is a possibility that that child may have been exposed to measles virus. These symptoms are followed by appearance of rashes, which spreads all over the body within 2 to 3 days. This indicates that the child has contracted this vaccine-preventable disease. What is the level of awareness on the disease among Nigerians? Statistics indicate that measles affect about 20 million people annually in developing countries of Africa and Asia. This results in an estimated 2.6 million deaths annually prior to the discovery of anti-measles virus vaccine. Most of those infected by measles die before their 5 years.
Viruses are germs, like we all know, so they cause different kind of diseases. But measles virus is the cause of measles disease.
Measles, an airborne disease, is spread through coughs and sneezes of an infected person. It could also be contacted through the saliva or nasal secretions of an infected person. Symptoms of measles usually develop 10 to 12 days after exposure to an infected person and last for about 7 to 10 days. Experts say complications occur in about 30% of the victims and may include diarrhea, blindness, inflammation of the brain, and pneumonia, among others. How can the infection be managed to reduce complications?
There are no antibiotics, so to say, that will kill the measles germ. So that is why it is important that we prevent it.
Vaccination, according to statistics, has resulted in the 75% decrease in deaths from measles between 2000 to 2015, with over 85% of the children being currently vaccinated globally. Can measles be treated?
As a disease is not treatable, and that is why it is preferable that it should be prevented in children. But of course, if a child has measles, there are things we can do in the hospital to make the child's illness bearable. So it's preferable that we prevent this disease.
If you have ever been infected with measles before, the good news is that you are unlikely to suffer from it a second time. This is because one suffers from measles once in a lifetime. Medical experts advise that parents should endeavor to take their children for immunization against the disease. Anti-measles vaccine is given to children under the age of 5 free of charge. They also recommend healthy feeding among children as malnutrition increases the risk of death among measles-infected children.
Thanks for that informative piece, Jane. We are set to go at this point. Thanks for watching Newsline tonight. As always, we ask you to come along again on Sunday next week, by which time we would have prepared a bumper package for you. Stay well, good night, and God bless Nigeria.